Hello.
Hi.
Yay, yay, yay. So here we are for
I love this
let's start with some orbiting.
orbit. Yeah.
Here
The
we are
hips.
for Unblocking Abundance, session number 2. I am Kuan Yin and I'm here with Barrie Rose.
Hi. Orbit with us,
Yeah, do
please.
you want to orbit with us? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, this is feeling so good.
Yeah. Because I know the hips store a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, you in the sacral.
Yes. Where we store a lot of shame and where all our creativity,
Yeah.
sexual energy emanates
Mm.
from. So let's just loosen that up with some nice big circles.
Yeah. Yes. Getting hot.
Yeah, so getting hot in here.
Yeah. It must be that sacral energy releasing.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. So this also feels maybe simultaneously we can feel into grounding to earth energy here.
Yes.
I'm seeing like a spiral of red
Oh.
from the base of the spine, spiraling down into the earth's core.
This
Mm.
motion kind of feels like you're bringing down the energy into your feet, into your bottom of your spine.
Mm. Yes. I'm filling the body with fresh prana, feeling the abundance of life force all around. You can inhale as deeply as you want, bringing in this fresh batch of life force, letting it fill every cell of your body, every corner, crevice, pocket. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Here we are. Here we are. So I'm very curious what will emerge today.
Same, you never know what's gonna come.
Yeah, never know. Hmm. So
Have you been feeling any abundance this week?
lots of abundance. Yeah. And also lots of like old patterns, Yeah, your patterns too. Um, but yeah, feel like a lot of the work currently is in um like updating the old parts of the self to like let them know, hey, what you think might happen or what the bad thing that you think might happen or that has happened, like, doesn't mean that this is what it is right now. You're in a completely new, different reality where you are heard, seen, and understood, and there's a lot of support here now, what you didn't experience before or have before. So, kind of like weaving the past into the new.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
oh,
so a lot of, I feel like time traveling work, updating the past scarcity, frozen parts, the parts frozen in past scarcity, and kind of like gently holding them in.
whoa. So you had an old pattern come up, but then you have a support system that's available to you, and you have like a new mind frame or experience where you're not repeating the old cycle.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of like I do feel
Mhm.
parts of myself that are repeating the old cycle, but kind of like in the midst of waking up from a nightmare where you thought that the nightmare was the only reality there is, but you're just kind of
Oh,
in that waking up out of it kind of feeling. You're like, "Oh, wait, but it felt so real." But that's not what's necessarily happened. It's not that's not the reality. Now I'm in this
uh,
other reality where there is love, there is support. Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
So, well, welcome, welcome,
Well,
Olivia. Thanks for joining. We're just kind of getting started um, with our unblocking abundance. hmm So, what's been coming up for you, Barry, with since our last call? And yeah.
yes, I definitely related to what you said about old patterns coming up,
Mhm.
but also I did feel this influx of abundance this week. And I did feel like, for instance, I sold my car and I was paid all in cash for it. So just holding all the cash,
Yeah.
I felt so abundant. I felt like, wow, this is the most cash I've had in my. And then I decided to, I read somewhere once that it's good to keep $100 in your wallet at all times and
Uh-huh.
not spend it,
hmm
but just have it there to so you feel like a sense of wealth. So I decided to do that. And yeah, and then just random things have come to me. Uh well, okay, so the person that was buying my car, I realized they shorted me $100 and I had counted it right in front of them. And then I was kind of mad at myself because I thought this is kind of coming up because there's been situation where I've been not paying attention to the details, and this is what really I need to be focused and clear and in this moment so this doesn't happen. But then that same day, some um someone offered me $100 to drive them to the airport, and that was exactly the amount that I was I had been shorted. So it was like the universe evened it out so quickly.
Interesting. Mhm.
Yeah, but I felt like pretty abundant this week, but then I did I mean, I don't know, things are always coming up and I'm always kind of reaffirming what I know that I'm capable of, that my fears aren't going to come to reality. Like I will be able to pay my bills. I will be able to do this. And it always does work out. So
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, I maybe that's normal that sometimes, sorry, I'm gonna put the air conditioning on.
mhm.
It's got hot. But yeah, that's it pretty much.
Mm.
What about you?
Well, I guess I've been like this week in terms of, yeah, abundance and scarcity. Um, well, um, I feel that, sorry, I wasn't prepared to talk about myself.
Oh, well, you don't have to. You don't want to. I don't.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we can, but, um, um, well, I guess some themes this week have been like, what we were talking about earlier with like a lot of, kind of like updating parts of myself that keep, like I find myself thinking, um I'm in like a past scenario where I'll be abandoned, or like I'm like alone, and there's, yeah, so like scarcity feelings there, like in a very like emotional realm. Yeah, like having flashbacks to childhood. Yeah. And 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 this process of like updating the parts of myself that are feeling that with like that's not what's happening now, and really like feeling into how fear can like really take over, and fear with like false evidence appearing real, but like then having to kind of work with that fear to update them with, okay, this is, that's not what's happening now, and you can trust what's here, like trust the love that's here. Yeah. So yeah, and then letting them like kind of come out of the nightmare into like, okay, um even if it's like kind of jarring, it just seems like it's like such a jarring reality from what was to like what is. Yeah, from like a place of lovelessness to like this abundance of support and love. So yeah, just like these two very polarized realms, just kind of the work of like having them come together again. Hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
So, yep.
mm.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing.
Yeah. So this is all part of, yeah, how do we create, um like abundance as an inner state, and how does that translate into like that sense of security and safety and feeling love, and allowing yourself to receive love all around. Hmm. And to
Mhm.
trust in that, and to believe that that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, abundance does exist in so many forms.
Yeah.
I've been feeling that too, I guess, I suppose, in a different sense, like more support from, I mean, like an abundance of, I think I'm just tuning into the frequency of abundance. So noticing in ways how abundance is showing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like we were talking about before with, sometimes we're kind of asking ourselves question like on a subconscious level that's making us feel like even worse about our situation or something. Like, for example, the question of why am I so broke or something, or like, why am I like some kind of um, demeaning thing, or yeah. But if you can flip it, because then when you're asking a question like that, then you're just going to find like all the evidence that supports that. Yeah. But if you can flip it to why am I so abundant? And let yourself answer that and see the world from that lens. Hmm. And so there's
Yeah.
things that we hold in our, there's like in our root chakra with just the things that we experience in very uh impressionable, like early stages of our life where it kind of forms our worldview. And on a root level, like if somewhere something that if there was trauma, there was something that happened that made you conclude or believe the world is unsafe, then you're kind of going through life kind of looking and seeing evidence for all the reasons to prove that like the world is unsafe and I don't belong here. Yeah. So there's just, and in that state, like even if there's all kinds of reasons to say otherwise, when you're holding that filter through which you're seeing the world, then yeah, you're always going to feel like you're going to feel the scarcity, like on such a fundamental level, you know, like not belonging, not
Mhm.
feeling safe. And um and so this is such a baseline of abundance, or just of like well-being, that I feel like so many people don't have, because of the way that society has come to be with.
Whoa. So you would say abundance could um be some, I mean, the basic form of that is just feeling safe
Yeah.
and secure.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, on a very fundamental level. Yeah. Hmm. Because it's like also the thing of wanting to acquire things, and um it, like at the core of it, it's because it gives you a certain kind of security in having that. Yeah. But I think so this is where things get off when there is an emotional lack internally, where you don't feel safe where you are and in your body and with the people you're with and whatever it is. And um and that's why there's like, and then that kind of creates a kind of um this necessity to maybe like acquire things to meet that lack that you're not getting emotionally. Not that there's anything wrong with wanting things and needing things. No, like, but only when it's like there's a kind of, we were talking about last week, like the hungry ghost, where it just feels like something can never get full because there is this internal deprivation happening.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So, so this is, I guess, why it's important to address the emotional starvation, or like things that feel, the needs, emotional needs that are feel lacking. Yeah, in being met. emotional needs that feel that you lack in getting met. Mhm.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think
that
it's
makes
I think it's sometimes hard to discern what that is also when you don't know. It's hard to know what you're missing when you didn't haven't received it. This is why sometimes it's really difficult to even, I know for me, yeah, like it's hard to name deprivation when it's like an
Mm.
invisible thing. Like like for example, emotional neglect of just like not being seen as a child or not being cared for. It's you can't really it's not something that like was overtly something that happened to you, right? Because you don't have a concept for what that is. You just know that you just feel this emptiness. But like as a child, you can't there's no concept for what that is, just like something invisible. But that's the thing that can get carried through into your adulthood and you're wondering why you feel unquenched and you don't know how to articulate what that is because it's just something you never had. So you don't even know that there's something that exists that you can have. You just know there's something that doesn't feel that feels deprived.
so how do you figure out what it is?
Yeah, so that's the thing. You don't know what it is until you just like you acknowledge, but there's something painful happening. It's like this unnameable, painful thing that's happening of like maybe experiencing abandonment in relationships. And so that's when pain starts to show you like, okay, why am I feeling this? This doesn't feel good. So when you register that something feels good, it's these are all arrows into like something, to like some kind of void space of
Yeah.
of the unmet needs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so amazing when you feel a new level of feeling something that you never had. I
Yeah.
mean, for instance, I in my current partnership, I'm I feel like this person's committed to me, and I've never felt a sense of, wow, this person's totally on board with me, like my good sides, my negative sides. And I always felt like I was in relationships where one foot was out the door, or like I didn't totally trust that they were going to leave me at any time. And it's just so strange to feel secure in a relationship. I feel like I never had that. I didn't have that.
Mm.
So yeah, but so I understand that feeling of getting something like a need met that you didn't know that you had this need that was lacking until you have it.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. So how does it feel for you that to like feel this void of what was normal to you before in past relationships now being filled with something different than what you're accustomed to?
I kind of feel like there's a new realm of possibility that I haven't experienced, perhaps, that is possible. With that level of trust and security, it feels like deeper experiences are possible that maybe I haven't gone to yet or haven't really experienced. So it does open kind of a curiosity of what is what's next or what can happen.
From here, yeah. What happens when you now have what you were missing?
Yeah.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah. So do you feel in this new state, is there anything that makes you feel like old scarcity? Come on.
Yes. In this relationship sense, yes. Sometimes I don't know if this is related, but I do feel like I always feel like it's my responsibility to if this person's isn't in a good mood, or I always feel kind of like it's my responsibility to make them feel better, even though I know it's not.
Mm.
But I almost feel like it is my responsibility to make them feel happy all the time. And
Mm.
I don't know why I really, because they don't feel that.
They don't feel what?
They don't feel like it's my responsibility to make them
Oh,
happy.
they're not
I
expecting
just
you to
feel
do that, have that role. Yeah. Okay. Well, what would be bad if you didn't do that? If you didn't try to make them happy or they weren't happy?
Well, I feel like when I'm happy or when I'm feeling really secure and good, I naturally bring up the people around me or my relationship. I naturally will give them even more support. But when I'm in a state where I can't give that, then I just kind of stop responding. It's kind of a, yeah,
Mm. Hmm.
I forgot the question.
Oh, um, so when you're in a naturally like a very abundant energetic space, like you're feeling secure and good, and so you're saying that kind of spills over and it makes you naturally want to support people you love around you.
Yeah, it's easy because you have an endless
Yeah.
overflowing cup to give support in any way.
Okay, so
Or
in
I
the
feel,
moment, like say you're in that state, but your partner is not in that state. Is that when you feel like they're not at the frequency you're at with the feeling really abundant? So is is that is that the moment when you feel like you want to even more try to make them happy because you sense that something in them isn't happy?
mm, no, I think it was actually this is what happened this week. I wasn't feeling great and for a few days, and I felt like I didn't have any to give, but I felt guilty because I wanted to be communicative and I wanted to be there, but then I just emotionally and connected, but I felt like a bit overwhelmed, so I wasn't responsive. And then, but it ended up being fine in that sometimes my own needs or their own needs, are come first prior to, I mean, they always come first, but it's understood. Like we have a good understanding of you, you don't have to respond and you don't have to be communicative when you're not feeling it, when you're not feeling like you can do that. So, but I think, oh, kind of like what you were saying. I I haven't had that paradigm in my life where it's been okay that I haven't been responsive.
Mm.
So it is okay in this context, in this relationship. It's okay if I'm not responsive and like I'm dealing with my own stuff and I go into just self-care preservation mode. It's fine and they understand if I take a few days. So I think I just have to adjust Yeah, like you were saying,
Mhm.
but I didn't pinpoint that that's what I'm actually doing as well.
So
Readjusting the reality of it's
yeah,
okay. There's
it's
a new setting.
yeah, like you're not gonna get punished or pushed away
Yeah.
for you
Oh my
taking
God.
care of yourself.
Yeah, you're not gonna yeah. In the past I was punished for that, or it was a guilt. I was made to feel guilty when I went like that. But now I'm not getting that. Okay. Hmm.
So you adjusting to, so this is like part of your abundance is to feel like, is to not feel guilty for taking time for yourself, being in your own healing zone, self-care zone. And
Yes.
do that with like people, with your partner, like also honoring that and yeah, giving you that space.
Yeah, I didn't correlate that or connect that to abundance,
Yeah.
but I suppose it is.
Mm, yes.
So then how would you define abundance if it's all these different categories?
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a feeling of, or abundance is a state of, oh, 333. um, like that you can, you're like, you are free to be yourself and without punishment, and to have your, to fill your cups, all the cups of the different needs of your life, that they can be filled and replenished, and something about, and in that process you don't like, there's no guilt or punishment for doing that and having that, being that. And it really comes down to, really, I think it's like this feeling of like all of you, all parts of you are under, can be understood, and you are safe and secure and free to create and do whatever feels aligned for you. And it can be a reciprocal exchange with anyone.
Love that. All parts of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Like you're creating a win-win situation for all parts. Like there's no part of you that has to get squashed away for another part of you to get the need met or something. Like,
Wait,
yeah.
can you repeat that last thing?
So I'm just
Your
thinking about like
previous.
an example of, um sometimes we think we have to like compromise ourselves to have what you want. Like for example, if you are, mm, like what you were describing before, with you wanted to have like this self-care space for yourself, but say in the past you wanted that, and maybe you did that, but then somewhere you felt like it was wrong because you were hurting someone. So in that state, even though you're getting one part of yourself's needs met, another part of you is like in
Mm.
in a punishment feeling zone. So not all of you is feeling free. But now I think like moving into more abundance zone is when you can do that for yourself and know that this is, um, like all parts of you are blessed in that, and that um okay, like you're not like running on, there's no part of you that feels guilt about that,
Yeah. Mm.
so that you can truly enjoy like what's here and not have resistance to what is. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna say even in that state when there's a part of you that is feeling guilty about it, um yeah, okay. Maybe somewhere in there there is like resistance. That guilt is some kind of manifestation of a kind of resistance to really fully letting yourself have what you want, which is the rest, the healing. So even that person in your life that's in the past, like making you like they're getting angry and you're feeling kind of, like insecure about, can I do this? Maybe I shouldn't. I should be with them, or I don't know. Yeah, like that's also some kind of indication of your own internal resistance to fully letting yourself have what you want. So so maybe abundance is also just like not having resistance to your needs and wants, and even if someone else has an issue with it, like you don't resist, you don't
Uh,
you don't like block yourself out from letting yourself experience everything fully.
yeah. 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 And that just made me go on some kind of mental tangents of realizations, I guess.
Mm. What kind of realizations?
Just that if you're feeling something and then you start, I'm just kind of this feeling of this feeling, and then saying, well, I shouldn't feel that.
Yeah.
So kind of pushing away that. And that's a form of resistance, I guess, to say, to deny your actual real.
Feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm in a process of recognizing these feel like when I feel something, in knowing that it's okay. It's okay that I feel that in the first place.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, to genuinely really know how to assure yourself that it's okay to feel that, to feel whatever that is. So yeah, that's the abundance you can offer to yourself. Like give yourself the abundance of coming out of the prison of guilt, of like I shouldn't have done that or said that, or I shouldn't feel that. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm. So interesting this where this abundance talk is taking us today.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go into
Yeah.
this realm.
Well, yeah, we're talking about, yeah, emotional, because we're talking about emotional security and emotional abundance. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, and how to receive I think what I'm learning right now, yeah, what I was sharing with you, or is like how to really receive the gift of your life, like of everything that's happening in your life, like how to receive that as a gift.
Receive.
Yeah,
This is coming up a lot. The idea of receiving.
yeah, to really receive yourself, like all of yourself. Hmm. And I think this is something like this is a lucidity that comes, you know, for um I'm just thinking about like my in a ayahuasca ceremony where I really experienced my own death. Like yeah, like it was a very painful, excruciating journey, and I was really actually like, even wishing that I would just die because it was so painful. I was like, please, just I this is too much. And
Physically or emotionally?
like all of it. Yeah, felt so unbearable. But coming out of it, I just like in confronting my death and the ending of everything and coming out of it was this, or like moving through that passageway was what had me open my eyes to, wow, like having a body. And like that morning waking up from it, I was so just, I was like looking at my hands in awe of my hands, and I was like, it was like I had a, like I was reborn. Like I thought, I really was convinced I died, but then I was surprised to wake up and I was here. And for a moment I didn't even remember my name because I just went so far out, but it was this feeling of, wow, I really understood viscerally like what a freaking gift it is to have a body and be in this life, even though I was in the most misery ever, the deepest misery at the time. But it was just this feeling of gratitude of like, wow, I get to experience misery, the deepest pain. Wow. Yeah, like I get to experience this. And like, and to come from the extreme of like, I thought everything was just pure torture and punishment, to no, this is a gift that I get to experience this. I get to experience like all the full like spectrum of this human experience of emotions, of like the deepest darkness, and but from the deepest darkness like the brightest light, like both of it. So yeah, that was a moment of intense kind of receiving of myself in a way I had not experienced before.
Do you feel like you moved forward in your life in a different way, having experienced that?
Yeah, yeah, it was like a complete lens shift from like from I exist and everything is here to torture me to, okay, I'm here to like I was given all of these experiences in my life like to teach me something, and I'm here to like honor these experiences. Like this is to know that that was not just about torture. Like I'm here to like alchemize that and learn from it and know how to really deeply honor life.
Yeah, so the pain served a bigger purpose.
Yeah, that exactly. And I didn't know that up until then. I just thought pain was there to torture me and there was no other reason. And I'm just very unlucky. And I must be um doing something bad, or I don't get something, that's why I'm being punished for it. So I even like saw like, you know, all the things that I was doing was a way to just kind of like figure out like what was wrong with me so I can fix it. But
Mm,
yeah, um and then total reality shift to like a completely new like relational, like how I approach shadow, like how I approach pain shifted.
which is how do you approach pain now?
Yeah, now approaching pain like not like ugh, but like pain as, oh, hello, you are an aspect, you are a part of me that's here to show me something about myself. And um, it, every time pain is teaching me how to like create a loving relationship with it, and that it feels understood and seen, and and that it's my role to honor pain,
Mhm.
and that actually the biggest suffering is me resisting pain. And that was the big
Mhm.
lesson from my journey, was like the whole hell realm, why I wanted to kill my, why I wanted to just like die was because the reason I wanted to die was because it was so unsustainable. It was like showing me my pattern of how I'm treating pain, which was just like, oh my God, this is so bad. I can't deal with it. I want it to go away. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. And so, like, ayahuasca was showing me how I was relating to pain, and the manifestation that of that was just like pure hell realm. So I needed to experience the hell that I was creating by having that thought pattern, by having that relationship to pain.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's where you could really make that shift.
Yeah. So I had to like go all the way with intensifying. She showed me like it was like an intensification of that pattern I was holding in myself, and seeing like, see how unsustainable it is, like, and see how unsustainable and painful it is to keep pushing it away. Like, and it just like I just saw like amplifying and amplifying, amplifying until I was like, I can't deal with it anymore like this. So what happened in ceremony
Wow.
was how I was in life outside too, just wanting to like push it away or like stuff it down until like couldn't anymore, because what you resist persists. It just grows bigger and bigger. So that's what I was facing, like the monstrosity of like all the energy of like push away.
Um,
But in that intense pain was where I had the enlightenment moment, where I was in so much pain that I was just like, it opened up a space for me to be like, I don't know now. I need to give up. I want to give up because I've tried with all my might to like try to like preserve myself from not feeling this pain, but I can't, I don't have no more strength to do it. So I like relinquished my human and like mental control. I had to, because I was up against a corner like so bad. And so that was when I like in that state, I remembered the concept of peace in the hell realm. I was like, oh, wait a second, peace. Hold on, peace. Remember peace? And then I just started just like repeating it like I was just like please just let me rest in peace. Like please just let me die. I just want to experience peace now. Like that's all I want. I just yeah. And then after I was calling in peace and then somewhere I then had another shift of like when the next wave of like intense pain came to me, I I like had this I don't know, some benevolent being threw me a bone in my hell realm. They're like, here. But it just came to me with like, oh, what if the next time the pain comes, I don't push it away, but I just say to it, I honor you. And so the pain wave came
Oh,
that I honor you. And it was a completely different energetic stance from where I was, what I was doing, how I was going about it with before. And as soon as I started doing that, like I noticed a shift. It was like, oh, it was still painful, but it like the pain subsided a little bit. And then I just kept doing it. I'm like, oh, okay. And it that's what encouraged me. I'm like, wow. Because my pain level was like off the roof, but I started to see it shrinking and shrinking. Like that demonic pain just started shrinking and shrinking. And and that's when I knew, okay, this is a major key to
mm,
life and the universe and like how energy works to like honor everything that comes to you.
mm,
And in that honoring of that, then it was the honoring of me because again, like we're all one. It's everything is you. An aspect of you.
mm.
Mhm. So so then that was my big light bulb moment and then that was hell like transforming before my very eyes into the paradise. I wasn't pushing it away, pushing anything away. Just like, okay, I honor this, I honor you.
Wow.
I never knew what honor meant before. I had no concept of that. And then I really learned what honor meant, like from the deepest parts of my soul. Like it was this, like, wow,
Wow.
okay, like it's not just a word, not just a nice little word. Like it's a very important word.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost
So,
like honor means to totally, completely respect and give your absolute gratitude and devotion to something.
yeah. Yeah.
It feels very whole and sincere.
Sincere, yes. And a humbling of myself and just being like, I'm not better than you. Like, because I think before it was also this kind of this like ego trap of like trying to like, you know, already deciding when you're already deciding that something is bad or like this like energy of like, no, you're that and I'm here and like stay over there and yeah. So, but honoring is like the opposite thing of you're like recognizing it's like the true namaste. It's like I honor the divine in you. The divine in me honor the divine in you. Like recognizing at the core, like we're of the same substance. We're just like different compositions of the same substance. We're all the same substance of source.
Mm. Very powerful sentiment.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
Mhm.
It seems so practical because I feel like we all experience pain to different degrees like on a daily basis. And if I could just say, I honor you at any given time, it seems so practical and sort of a way to chip away at this energy that's comes up.
Mhm. Yeah,
I want to take
totally.
that into practice.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Right. So, so this is a good practice for like when you feel scarcity coming up or some kind of limiting belief, like feeling like I can't, something where you feel disconnected from the abundance of the universe. Where you feel like I can't do this or I can't have that or I can't achieve that. Yeah, something where you feel like you can't have what you want and find in there um, the part of you that is trapped in pain, believing that to be true. And this is the part you want to approach and say like, I honor you, your experience, some kind of pain experience where it felt true that you were um, you are like not you are excluded from what other people can have or something, you know, where you feel like you don't deserve good things or you're the outcast, um, and so yeah, the honoring of that experience that created that pain and that belief, and in doing so, like um, it's almost like the very act of letting yourself pay attention to that and paying attention to it, like not from the space of God, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just like feel the abundance, you know? But yeah, but like being willing to like meet that part. Yeah. And like um be with them in the place that seems like it's so real because it was real, to like validate the prison that they're feeling in that. And in doing so, I feel like it's grief work. A lot of it is grief work, like all this sadness of having lost that innocence or like lost that feeling of belonging and like unconditional acceptance and love, and feeling like you're living in a dangerous world where like things are so scarce. Mhm. So there's like letting yourself feel the grief that's there, and um like I feel like there's an alchemy that happens in being willing to feel those feelings that like naturally, like you'll know when you have really gone there to like really be with it enough where you'll naturally start to feel a sense of relief, and that's an indication that that cup, that unmet needs, or some cup of yours, like an emotional cup of like um of that need being filled when you feel relief. So that's how you can fill your own cup. Maybe like the party that feels sad was an empty cup that you can fill through your presence, and maybe even being able to like share that with someone who could hold that space with you and being able to feel that grief, sadness. And then naturally, it may, after you feel relief, you can even start to feel anger about like, but yeah, that's messed up. How come? And that's a good sign when you start to naturally move into different emotions about it. And then maybe,
Hmm.
and then maybe from there, you're like, well, this makes me feel like, I don't know, just gives you like inspiration to maybe like try out different things. But it's because you've like worked through your emotional states.
Oh, yeah. I feel like for a lot of times I feel these pain or the suffering in terms of body. Like I'll get, I don't know, like a lot of things in my lower back or like in my shoulders. And I think just moving the energy is helpful. But I suppose that's also a form of facing
Yeah,
this more like elusive feeling that turns into an energy and it gets like a blockage somewhere and then I have to release it. But it's kind of an acknowledgement. It's still, I suppose, the same method because you're to move the energy is to honor it,
yeah, uh-huh.
to acknowledge it's there.
Yeah,
That's a, yeah.
totally. That's still you're working with the energy. Yeah, and honoring it with like, I see you're here, and how do you want to, yeah, like how it wants to express itself. So this is where I feel like this is the origin necessity of art. You know, like how do you translate what's happening in this invisible inner realm and like let it, like what channel you use to let it out so that you can see it and it's not just living in a unwitnessed void place, so that you can even witness what it is by it coming through somehow, like whether it's with your voice or through movement or through writing or something.
Yeah. Wow, because it does seem like that energy is, and that's creation as well.
Yeah. And it's like also there's like infinite supply of that because we're feeling so many things all
Oh
throughout
my God.
all the time.
Wow. It kind of it shows me that writer's block or creator's block or something isn't actually real because you can there are this is the direct way to transmute that or
Yeah.
change that.
Uh-huh.
So I think yeah, your work directly leads to that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should, it's like approaching writer's block. Oh, more material. You know?
Mm. Mm.
Because like that block is holding some kind of hidden energy, like a hidden story. So it's like, how do you,
Oh,
yeah, unravel what that um, hidden, knotted up thing is? And yeah, like what you do to unravel it,
wow.
which also ties in with why perfectionism won't let you get there to really work with what is here. So, so this is my like, this is my thing with like my, when I go through like really big like creative blocks, I always know there's like some kind of perfectionist thing in there, and I always have to like go through a like some kind of shift with having that aha moment again of, oh, the block is my material, like that's the art, the block is,
Oh,
you know. Not like, oh, the block is here and it's preventing me from making something good. It's like, no, the block is the material, like that's your clay.
Oh.
But just, you like forget and remember and forget and remember, forget and remember all the
Mm, I feel inspired.
time. Yay. Me too.
Mm,
I feel
yeah,
abundant.
I feel abundant too.
Wow. Cool. Okay. Well, hmm. Yeah. I didn't know what would come up today, but this is what it is.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for providing this space.
Yeah. Yeah. You are welcome. And hmm. Feeling the abundance of like all the like infinite potential, like all the potential that's like inside of the blocks, inside of the pain. Yeah.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the bigger the pain, the bigger the awakening, the bigger the relief, the bigger the freedom you feel as you like really open yourself up to honor it.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel that the more expansion you develop as a human,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Shall we? I feel inspired to close with like some kind of sound om thing. Would you be up for that?
yeah.
Like three. And for those of you tuning in, feel free to join with us. I feel like, yeah, let's cleanse
Max just in the background.
the om with us too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like taking all the energy of what came through and what it inspired, honoring all the pain and the blocks that are here to teach us and open us up to the new way. Um,
Mm.
um, um, thank you,
Thank you.
Gary. Thank you, everyone, tuning in. Okay, so this concludes our Unblocking Abundance number 2. Um, Hope this helped you unblock with your abundance. And yeah, sending you all so much love.